Welcome into what will be a very abbreviated edition of the Alabama Racer this week, presented by Green Oil Company, your local VP Racing Fuels and Additives distributor. Hi, I'm Jim Jacobs, your wheel man for tonight, and we will get you up to speed on everything that has to do with racing across the state of Alabama. In fact, there is some rare Thursday night racing tonight, weather permitting, out at the Talladega Short Track as the NSCS Sprint cars are in town for a big Thursday night Thunder event. Hopefully we're going to get out of here and get out there in time to catch some of the features and bring you some footage back for next week. We're going to grab a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get right into the racing calendar, recap everything from last weekend, and look ahead to this Friday and Saturday across the state when the Alabama Racer takes the green flag next.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help, so please call us right now.
Call 800-917-8671. That's 800-917-8671.
Spring is finally here. If you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV,
or just want something more dependable that's affordable to drive,
then come see us at Avery Auto Sales of Anniston, 410 South Quintard Avenue, home of certified cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Don't pay high new car prices. Come see us at Avery Auto Sales in Oxford on Highway 78.
we even can offer an additional 100,000-mile certified warranty.
And yes, we can get you financed even if you have poor credit.
Spring into Avery Auto Sales on Highway 78 in Oxford and our new location on Quintard in Anniston.
Welcome back to the Alabama Racer. Time to get right to the action from last weekend's holiday weekend racing across the state and look ahead to what's coming up over the next few days here in Alabama. Here we go with this week's racing calendar. We start in the capital city where Montgomery Motor Speedway was front and center this past Saturday with their big Show Me the Money Memorial 100. Casey Roderick took the pole, posting a lap of 19.038 seconds. But after the top 8 redraw, Jordan McCullum and RS Center shared the front row for the start, but the night belonged to TQ Roderick.
Eventually, Christopher Tullis in the 24 would work his way into the second place spot, as was the number 01 of Derek Scott Jr. Then Christopher Tullis was able to take the lead away from RS Center. Then we had the first caution come out when Lou Christian got loose, spun around. Terry Myers gets a tap, but then right here, bam! Right into Lou Christian goes Perry Bettino. Luckily, both drivers were A-OK after the wreck, and Perry was definitely not the happy camper after that wreck. When we went back green flag racing, Christopher Tullis and RS Center led off the field. They battled side by side, and then we had another big pileup. On the restart again, RS Center had the lead with Derek Scott Jr. running in second. Christopher Tullis had to work his way back up through the field. Meanwhile, the number 18 of Casey Roderick passed Frederick Moore in the number 30 for the third place spot. Meanwhile, Christopher Tullis was working his way back up through the field, passing Frederick Moore in the number 30, as was the number 21 of Justin South, as he moved his way up through the field. As the racing action went on, we had another caution come out when the number 30 of Frederick Moore spun out that collected the 26 of Chandler Smith and the 114 of Sterling Marlin. On the restart, RS Center could not get going well enough, and that opened up an opportunity for Christopher Tullis to get the second place spot. Then another caution came out when the number 7 of Taylor Strickland spun out, and somehow all the other cars involved in the wreck managed to not hit one another. Absolutely unbelievable. Then on the restart, they battled side by side, but eventually Christopher Tullis got the lead. Casey Roderick in the 18 worked his way into the second place spot and then would pass the 24 of Christopher Tullis for the lead. Christopher Tullis would continue to get passed by numerous cars, including the 01 of Derek Scott Jr., then make contact with the 22 of Jordan McCallum, and he ended up spinning out. We went back green flag racing with Casey Roderick in the lead, but watch this move by Bobby Knox Jr. He almost goes 3 wide into turn number 3. He manages to get past both Hunter Spivey and RS Center in the process. What amazing driving by the 30 of Bobby Knox Jr. Then we had another big wreck occur when several cars got involved. On the restart, Casey Roderick had the lead with Derek Scott Jr. running in second, but the 21 of Justin South was working his way up through the field. Then another caution came out between Dalton Riddle and Hunter Spivey. Then another wreck would occur on the restart. The 00 of Brandon Curran gets spun, and he collects several cars, including the 24 of Christopher Tullis. Then on the restart, it would be Casey Roderick leading off the field. Meanwhile, the number 30 of Bobby Knox Jr. was working his way up through the field, as was the 21 of Justin South. Then as time went on, we had another caution come out when the number 95 of Warren Mobley and the 00 of Brandon Curran caused the next caution. On the restart, Casey Roderick had the lead with Justin South right behind him. Then Warren Mobley spun out again. On the restart, Casey Roderick battled side by side with Justin South for the lead. Then Bobby Knox Jr. would give Justin South the fight for his life as they battled for second and third. But at the end of the day, it would be Casey Roderick taking home the checkered flag, with Justin South finishing in second and Bobby Knox Jr. finishing in third.
Man, Casey, you had the fastest time. You had to work your way up through the front, and you were able to come back to victory lane. That's 2 in a row for you. How does it feel, buddy?
Feels great. That's the kind of car you want right there. That's all handling. I appreciate Ronnie Sanders for letting me drive his car, and does a good job with this thing, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the year with him and keep working on what we've been building on, so appreciate it.
Montgomery Motor Speedway returns to action on June 11th with a 75-lap Show Me the Money PLM feature, plus the return of the late model Sportsman and modified minis. Tim Dyson's high-flying motorcycle jump team will also be on hand. The gates will open at 5, qualifying at 6, and the features at 7. Tickets are just $15 for adults, $10 seniors and military, and $5 for kids 6 to 12. 5 and under are always free. It was Kyle Grissom's turn in South Alabama down at Mobile over the Memorial Day weekend as he drove his number 31 super late model to a win at Mobile International Speedway. Donnie Wilson dominated Saturday night's Southern Super Series event, but when it was all said and done, it was Grissom who climbed out of his car to celebrate in victory lane. With the win, Grissom becomes the 5th different winner in 5 races for the competitive series this season. Other Mobile winners Saturday night included Rusty Powell in Bombers, Jason Johnson in Superstock, and Jonathan Langham in Sportsman. Mobile revs up again on June the 25th when the Pro Late Model Series returns, along with Superstock, Sportsman, and Bombers in action. It was another big Friday-Saturday doubleheader racing weekend at Talladega Short Track, starting with go-karts at Talladega Raceway Park with all classes in action, and where grandstand admission is always free. Congrats to last week's Raceway Park winners. Brody Clay looks unstoppable in the mini late models. It was Cody Dukes in box stock medium and stock light. Jack Sprayberry in Junior Predator. Riley Davidson wins in green plate. Paul Poe in box stock super heavy. It was Dexter Wooten in red plate. Nathan McGuirk in junior late models, and Trace Armstrong wins again in purple plate. Saturday winners from Talladega Short Track action included Tim Rozelle, who held off Terry Smith for another win in the super late models. Cruz Missile Skinner won in crate late model. Garden City, Alabama's Sam Norman in Sportsman. Michael Blakeney wins again in Thunder Car. It was Russell Chapman in Street Stock, and Corey Presley took the win in the Hot Shots. It's a special Thursday night Thunder event this week at Talladega Short Track as the winged USCS Sprint cars invade the Hornets' Nest. Late models and lower divisions will also race. Then it's a regular weekly racing program again on Saturday night, so there's plenty of action in the Talladega area this week to get out and enjoy. A big night of action rolled off at Huntsville Speedway this past Saturday. In the Super Truck division, Daniel Bradford TQ'd but started 5th after the inversion. That put Brandon Thornton on the pole. It didn't take long for Bradford to charge to the front though. He proved too much to handle and took the win in the Memorial Day 50-lapper. In the 20-lap sportsman feature, Scott Hollis TQ'd but started shotgun on the field as the previous feature winner. Byron Westbrooks and Jonathan Campbell started front row with Greg Krause and Scott Hollis in tow. Westbrooks and Hollis waged a nose-to-tail war for some 17 laps before Westbrooks suffered a mechanical failure and handed Hollis another sportsman win. Other Huntsville winners included Chris Brown in mini modifieds. It was Jay Harmoning again in Pro Buzz, Brad Malone in street stocks, and Josh Mack in the hot shots. Huntsville Speedway returns to action Saturday night with a special event show featuring a demolition derby and longer races in super stock, mini modifieds, Pro Buzz, and hot shot divisions. Pits gates open at 3, the front gates at 5, with qualifying underway at 6. The first green flag of the evening is in the air at 7. Admission is just $10 for adults, $5 children ages 7 to 11, with kids 6 and under admitted free. They raced for double points this past Saturday night at Sayre Speedway in Dora. Feature winners included Chad Frost in Buzz, Ray Humber in Mini Modified, Terry Doss in Street, Matthew Martin in Sportsman, Charlie Richardson in Renegade, Barry Martin in Open Wheel, and Robert Ham in the Modified Lights. This week, Sayre host action in limited modifieds, late models, street, mini modified, Buzz, and Renegade classes, plus the kids get on track for big wheel racing. The action gets underway at 8 o'clock. Drag racing fans celebrated the Memorial Holiday weekend on Saturday in Woodstock at Holiday Beach, and they'll race again this Saturday night with bracket racing featuring guaranteed purses in Pro, Foot Brake, and Junior Dragster. Now, due to the heat, the time trials will get underway at 4 p.m. this week. Gates open at noon. Grandstand admission is just $10, with kids 12 and under admitted free. Congratulations to last Saturday's winners at Holiday Raceway: Hayden Smith in Pro Dragster, Arthur West in Pro Mod, Chris Reno in Foot Brake, and KC Pesnell in Junior Dragster. Fort Payne Motor Speedway hosted a full slate of racing this past Saturday night. The feature winners were Aaron Wilson from Chatsworth, Georgia in Super Late Model, Casey Hall in Crate Late Model. It was Don Templeton in Sportsman, Gadsden's Bart Starr in B Hobby, Sean Guffey in A Hobby, Jimmy Plumley in Pony, and Johnny Neiman in four-wheel drive. And here's one of our most favorite things about Saturday night racing at the dirt track. Even the kids get out there every now and then. Check out the girl out front and the little boy in the LSU purple jersey, head down, wide open. Racing continues this Saturday at Fort Payne with a full slate of action in all classes. Grandstand admission is just $10, with kids 12 and under admitted free. It was a big Memorial Day weekend this past Saturday at East Alabama Motor Speedway in Phoenix City with all classes racing. Tyler Ivory Crowder led flag to flag from the pole for his second big late model win this season at EAMS. Joseph Brown and Vetradana Island rounded out the top 3. Other winners from the Memorial Weekend celebration included Russell Welch in limited late model, Jason Price in hobby, Jason Harrison in street stock. Chandler Diem literally inched out Billy Duell Jr. to get his first win in the Road Warrior class, and Chris Hobo Bosley is a back-to-back winner in hot shots. Now, EAMS moves this week's races to Friday night. You'll see a full weekly racing program on tap in all divisions. And it's crossover night this Saturday night at South Alabama Speedway in Kinston as the track joins forces with Crossover Ministries to help others cross over the finish line. Grandstand admission is free when you bring canned food items, toiletries, or household items to the track. The Pro Late Models headline the evening with a 100-lap feature, plus action in 7 lower divisions. The gates open at 3 o'clock, and racing starts at 6 at South Alabama Speedway. Now, if you're a track owner or promoter and you'd like to see your track's information each week featured on the racing calendar, well, it's absolutely free to you and it's easy too. All you have to do is email us your information each week, your race results, who the winners are, send us any photos or videos that you have available. Here's the address right here on the screen, the Alabama Racer at fnnnetwork.com. Also, don't forget, gotta have it by 12 noon on Tuesday each week in order to get it ready for each Thursday show. Well, we've got to grab a quick timeout. The white flag is in the air. We'll come back and wrap things up next here on the Alabama Racer, presented by Green Oil Company.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Mad Additives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford.
We build things that work the way you wish they would. Like a front-end loader you can detach from your seat. Or a mower deck you just drive over and cut through knee-deep grass no problem. Yep, we thought the same thing you did. That's why we build them this way. That's how we run. Nothing runs like a deer.
Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage, plus a warehouse full of quality parts for almost any need. Just call ahead and tell us what you're looking for. At Daffron Auto Salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away. You're in charge with the Tax Admiral. Call me now for your free emergency consultation.
Call 800-218-4908. That's 800-218-4908.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's show, a very abbreviated edition because, again, we're trying to get out to Talladega Short Track for the sprint cars tonight. Hopefully weather has allowed that to take place. Well, if not, we'll fill it in with something else next week. Look for some more guests on the show. Of course, the racing calendar. We'll check in on ARCA testing up at Pocono and see how some of the state's teams did there as we roll on here into the summer that's ahead for us for racing across the state. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, if you like the show, 8 o'clock every Thursday right here at fnnnetwork.com. That's when we debut. If you missed the show, we run it several times again over the weekend. And of course, it's eventually posted to YouTube. Please go there and subscribe so that you'll receive notices in the email every time we post shows. And we keep all of our Alabama Racer episodes there for you to enjoy and share with friends throughout the racing season. That's going to do it for us. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you back here next Thursday night at 8 o'clock with lots more racing from across the state of Alabama. Have a great week, and remember, if you're not first, you're last. We'll see you next Thursday.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Mad Additives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford. Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage, plus a warehouse full of quality parts for almost any need. Just call ahead and tell us what you're looking for. At Daffron Auto Salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City.